Hi everyone, this is AC7WH, Jared here. I wanted to show you something really nice that I was able to test out with some more of those incandescent bulbs that I ordered. I ended up getting half a dozen more of them because I really like what I've been finding. Alright, so with that, check this out. So I have two incandescent bulbs in this fan light for the ceiling in my room. Same room that I have for my shack. There's my ham radio equipment covered over with a sheet for the dust cover. But in any case, I decided, you know what, let's see how well the dimmer switch works with these incandescent bulbs. So generally speaking, LEDs are not designed to work with a dimmer switch. And yes, there are certain types of LEDs that can work with certain types of dimmer switches, supposedly. However, from my knowledge and experience, it's, in my opinion, almost always better to go ahead and go with an incandescent bulb if you can with a dimmer switch. But how do you get them? Well, check out my last video and you'll see more information about that, but also check out the links down below in the description. In any case, you don't have to worry about a bunch of blinking going on that's extremely noticeable when you adjust the light, and you can dim it down really low, as you can see here, and then totally turn it off and go back and light up the room. Now across the room I have one of those other incandescent bulbs. All right, so why am I talking about this? Well, one, just to give you an update on how things are going because I haven't made a video for a little while. And two, because I recommend utilizing these bulbs, especially if you want the relaxing atmosphere or ambiance in a room for nighttime to help you wind down and not be on high alert, which makes it difficult to sleep depending on the time of night and so forth. But anyhow, I also highly encourage the use of incandescent bulbs to avoid certain radio frequency interference. And again, you'll see more about that in my previous video. All right. Now, as far as my antenna plans, as I mentioned, I've got my ham radio equipment here under this dust cover, and part of the reason is because I discovered that when I was using my Chameleon 25-foot whip, the way I had it set up on the deck, running the coax out through that window, it was too close to the wiring that is used for lighting and a ceiling fan that's actually out on the patio deck, out on that deck in the backyard. Out in the front yard, there's not really an ideal space for an antenna. In the back, there's not a lot of real estate on this property, but there is the ability to go vertically, and so I'm actually waiting for a POTA 33 heavy duty, as I've mentioned before. And once that comes, I'm hoping to use a wire antenna with just some basic copper wire stranded and make a longer antenna rather than shorter and see what I can do with the antenna tuner. I've found that supposedly it's better to have an antenna that's a little bit too long than not long enough, so that when you're tuning it, you are adding capacitance to create, so to speak, a shorter antenna electrically, as opposed to the other way around, where you don't have an antenna that's long enough and you're having to add length electrically through inductance, and that is more lossy. That's what I've learned so far. There's a lot more to learn, and that's what I like about ham radio. You're always learning and experimenting and trying new things, so that's a lot of fun. I especially love the science behind it, as I've mentioned previously. All right. Oh, by the way, something that caught my eye here is my little AM loop antenna. I like to listen to AM 700 in Winston, Oregon. So anyway, let's see, other updates. So nothing too much other than I am considering still in the future getting my Ameritron AL811H updated, upgraded, any repairs needed. It's in quite good condition, but in the meantime, I'm very much grateful to have my PALSTAR and antenna tuner. So those are some updates for now, more updates to come. I hope it was helpful in any way, and I'm looking forward to making more videos. And thanks for taking a moment with me to check out the benefits of incandescent light bulbs and how they can help with the dimmer switch. This is Alpha Charlie 7 Whiskey Hotel and 73 lights out.